Because you're still listening to and watching the Gold Morning Conversation live on Radio Gold 90.5 FM. And as we've been doing for some time now, we are out and about. Today, our host is a man who is now in charge of our identification as Ghanaians. Wisdom Deku is now in charge of the National Identification Authority. It's a place that he is familiar with, but has not been in here for some time. He's been here for a few months. We'll find out from him so far how he's finding the experience and also what he's been doing, what his plans are, what his objectives are, and what his vision for the NIA is. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I am fine.
Long time.
Yes. And thank you for agreeing to host us.
Welcome to the National Identification Authority. I hope they screen you before coming upstairs.
It took some time. Anyway, but first let me start with how you're finding the office thus far. How long have you been in office now?
Yeah, I think this is my 10th month. I was one of the few apprentices that was announced. My appointment came on the 17th of January. Yes, 2025. So
10 months
yes.
So far.
So very, very, very good, except some small challenges, but those ones are more of financial constraint. You know, this year has been, when it goes to all the agencies and ministries, finances has been a bit, but I'm sure the finance minister is doing his best to make sure that everybody gets to the top there. So we are okay.
Aside that, so far, so good.
So far, so good.
So far, so very.
Yes, very, very good. Because, you know, as you indicated earlier in your announcement, I have worked here before. I started working here in 2008. And so...
2008?
Yes. I was the pioneers when we started the National Identification Authority.
Okay.
That time I was hired as a technical officer.
Technical officer.
So we were repairing the machines.
Okay.
When they get to the field and maybe somebody reports a fault, one of the people that will get there to make sure that the machines are fixed to continue with the registration.
So when it started?
Yes, started in 2008. And lucky for me, I'm one person that I've worked through all the executive secretaries, the past ones, from Professor Dumont, Professor Tefa First, Dr. William Mahaji, Dr. Koba, Osei Kwame Griffiths, and Professor Tefa again. Okay. So I've worked to all of them. So I would say, it's just like when His Excellency was coming back, he has the experience. So this is not a new place for me. Yes.
New place. The last time you were here, before you came back as the boss, what position were you holding?
I was the head of systems.
You were head of systems?
Yes.
Now you return as the boss?
Yes.
So far, what condition have you found the place in?
Oh, it's okay. The past executive secretary did a lot. I must commend him for at least when they came in 2017, they didn't abandon the national system that we continue. So if you check the report that was issued, the technical report and the communique that was issued by then Honorable Frema Opare, asking that the government continue with the existing arrangement between NIA and IMS. So they continued it, they started the mass registration, and as we speak now, we have about 18.9 million people who have registered into our system. When they started in 2019, the target was the 15 years and above, the target per adult population was 19.6. So if today we are almost close to 19 million, that means we've done a lot. It's close to about 600,000. Even people may have gone ahead with their age, but I think we've gone far with it. One thing that came to me was the district office is not properly functioning. When I say properly functioning, it means that they were functioning, but they were not able to issue cards to people. Okay. The reason being that they were not having blank cards. Okay. But lucky, I was able to get about 700,000 cards, blank cards, sent it to all the districts, and they started printing the cards. So as we speak now, every district is fully functional, except one place, but maybe that you go, they say maybe they're having technical challenges, but that should not take even a day for them to fix those technical challenges. We are monitoring them. We've put out flyers. If you go to any district and you have any issue, communicate to us. We have a call center downstairs that they are actively working, so that if you call them and you have any other issue, they can be able to attend to you.
And I know when you came in, I wondered what was, because the NIA was set up for a particular purpose. what was the objective from the beginning? How far have we gone in terms of achieving that objective?
Okay, NIA was established by an act of parliament. That is the Act 707-2006. That was passed in 2006 with a clear mandate to register Ghanaians, here in Ghana, register Ghanaians abroad, and register foreigners here and issue them with non-citizens card, and issue Ghanaians with what we call it the Ghana card. Okay. So that is our clear mandate. So that's what we are supposed to do. And then there was an LI 2111 that was passed in 2012. That makes the Ghana card mandatory for any transaction that requires identification. So what it means is that if you go to any bank and they require that you have to identify yourself, it has to be your Ghana card, no any other identity card. So that is where mostly they do the verification to check whether you are the true person who is there to perform transactions with them. So those are the things that is happening with NIA.
And so far, are we doing well with those?
Yes, except to say that there's been a lot of education that we need to intensify. I think that one I must be say it. We need to intensify our education because people are still doing the photocopy. And I'm sure if I come to your attention, and I'm sure you'll be here, you intend asking that question. So let me answer you before you ask me that question. There are people doing photocopy of your Ghana card. So now if you come to me and I only do a photocopy of your Ghana card, I have not established or confirmed that you are the true owner of the card. Because the card could even be fake. You get it? But the only way that we can authenticate you that you are the true owner of the card is to go through the NIA biometric verification platform. Now, there are 3 steps. It's identification, verification, and authentication. If you don't do authentication, you can't establish anybody's identity. Now, when I say authentication here, it means that you've been biometrically verified. So if sender comes to me and give me his Ghana card, I look at the picture on the Ghana card and I look at your face and there's similarity. I've only identified you, but not confirmed that you are the owner. When I do verification by entering the PIN into the system and verify with the NIA and it says that verified, I've established that the card you are holding is truly authentic from NIA, but I've still not confirmed your identity until I make you do the biometric verification, either facial or the fingerprint. That is when I can establish your identity, and that is what we need to go on. The last time I went to even a government institution, I saw somebody saying that he was going to do a photocopy of his Ghana card. And I was like, really? What shows that you are the true owner of the card? And to be frank, one of my close friends who works at a bank, not a bank here in Ghana, somewhere, if somebody has used his Ghana card to defraud them because the card was fake and they didn't verify from the NIA. So it is in the bank's own interest, it's in you, the applicant's your own interest to make sure that they don't do a photocopy of your Ghana card. Don't forget that identity theft too is there.
Now, because you raised that, I'll ask you before I continue where I was going. When you actually issued that, are you seeing the banks complying and are they doing the verification?
Yes. For the banks, because they are regulator, BOG also issued the same statement to them. And BOG every day verify from the banks to see whether all transactions that have been performed, they went through the NIA biometric system. So if you don't do that, they can sanction you. And don't forget that anytime you do a biometric at the bank, there is a timestamp that is unique to you. And at any point in time, the banks can write to, BOG can write to NIA to verify the authenticity of that person. And we can furnish the bank with those details.
So the Bank of Ghana has been
The Bank of Ghana has been seriously quite helpful in regulating the banks. But the other institutions that are coming on board, we engaging the regulators like the NIC, National Insurance Commission, and all other people. We want to engage the regulators so that they will enforce it down to their people.
Have they explained to you why they have that difficulty doing that authentic?
No, they don't have any difficulty because the system is there. Okay. They don't have any difficulty. But I don't know what comes into them. Maybe they want them to do it fast and let the person go or not. Because photocopying, it doesn't do anything to you. It doesn't establish anything. Okay. Yes.
Or is it that they are avoiding some payments?
I know where you want to go to, but in fact, the payments is not it's not from NI, it's from Parliament.
Okay.
You know, the Fees and Charges Act. It was passed by Parliament. So if there's anything, and our fees are moderate. For example, the banks, they pay 645 cedis per branch a month.
645
cedis.
It doesn't matter how many people
Exactly.
you authenticate.
Yes. So a branch pays 645 cedis. Is it expensive?
Not at all.
So that is the issue. And you see, when you look at the risk, if you don't do the biometric verification and somebody comes with somebody's fake identity to come and take somebody's money, you, the bank, you have to pay that money back to the person. So if you look at the risk involved and paying only 645, I think the 645 is better.
But clearly, you still have a lot to do because we're just talking about one government agency also virtually doing this.
Yes. So, in fact, we are bringing most of the government. DVLA is good. They are coming on board. They are already on board. Passports is where there are issues more, but they are also coming on board. What's the name? NHIS, they are on board. SNATE, most of the government agencies are on board. It's just some few ones that are struggling, but they will surely come on board.
Great. There's one other, just in terms of those who do it. You wanted your money from the GI. Did you get it? But first of all, what did they owe you for?
Okay, so there was a contract that was signed between MOU that was signed between NIA and GRA. They are part of the off-takers of the NIA biometric system. You know, what happens is that now your Ghana card is your TIN number.
Okay.
So the verification platform, they were supposed to pay per any hit that they do. So since they started in 2019 or so, they've not been paying.
Since 2019?
Yes, but they made some payments, 10 million last 2023 and another 8 million. Since then, they've not paid again. So when I came, we've received a lot of queries from external auditors, from Parliament, PAC, and public state interest that our receivables, when I talk about receivers, people who are owing us, they are plenty. So we need to chase our money. So it was based on that. I wrote letters to them several times. I was not getting a response, but unfortunately, when we cut them, they were able to respond to reach it out to us. So I can assure you that we are. Or in fact, they want to even do more business with us because our data will help them to get the informal sectors tax. So the board chairman reached out to our board chairman, and there's the commissioner to reach out to me. Mr. Anthony, they reach out to me, and we are in talks. We've set up a technical committee, both parties, and we are hoping that by the close of last month, we should have seen some payments. But the technical committee have not yet concluded.
This one is
yes, the money matter. No, they need to reconcile the numbers.
Okay.
The numbers. They are saying that the numbers we are saying is too much. They also see different numbers. So we want to reconcile them before the payment is done. So definitely they will make some payment. They've expressed interest that they will pay. So we are hoping that middle of this month or anything. It was supposed to be last month, but middle of this month, we are sure that they will make some payment to us.
Clearly, that money will be helpful. And a lot more people who owe you paying.
Exactly. Yes. In fact, some people should be seeing some disconnection now because I'm saying that most of them, it's only true that they can pay, they can come out to do the payments. So some banks, they pay. For the banks, they pay. Just that the accumulated amount is almost about 30 million now. Oh. Then we have some small institutions that are also owing small, but. It's not anything that we can say it's a big challenge because if you look at GRA 376 million compared to 30 million, passports owing us 22 million, NHI is owing us $58 million. So we are working on all that to make sure that we resolve these issues.
NHI is also $58 million.
Yes.
So they too have not been paying.
Yes, but they've come to us, they've reached out to us. All of them have reached out to us, and we are settling. You know, it's the same government, so we need not to go hard on each other. So they've reached out to us, and we are working on it in terms of the payment. Lucky, their board chairman now was the former board chairman of NIA when I was here.
Okay.
So he understands our predicament and he's working out to help us get our money.
What would it mean to be unplugged from an NIA system for them?
So what it means is that your system here and the applicant is here, NIA is sitting in the middle.
Okay.
So if we cut you, you cannot give service to your applicants. So if you go to a bank now, if NIA disconnects a bank now, it means that the bank cannot authenticate anybody that comes to the bank.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the meaning.
So it is a very, very important.
Very, very, very
Your
important.
services are.
Yes, yes.
Then you must be surprised that they are still able to withhold payment in the manner they did.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, the enforcement was another issue. You know, the LI, as I indicated earlier, LI 2111 was passed in 2012. That makes the Ghana card mandatory for any transaction that requires identification. So the law goes ahead to list all the services that you have to use your Ghana card, and even says that the executive secretary or the minister through gazetting can be adding more to it. So now if you see your SNIT number is your Ghana card PIN, your your TIN is your PIN, your TIN number is now your Ghana card number, your NHIS number is now your Ghana card number. We've even sent a proposal to make sure that if possible we can add your student ID as your Ghana card number, so that right from secondary school your PIN takes you throughout the whole cycle so you get to work.
What is the ultimate objective of that?
To make the NIA the source of truth. When we say source of truth, it means as the data harmonization, so that when a sender goes to do his DVLA, he cannot go to DVLA and use different name, different identity to get DVLA driver's license. When he gets to passport, he cannot use different identity to get a passport. But once he gets to DVLA, DVLA will sync into NIA, pulls all you send out your data after verification, so that your identity remains the same, your date of birth and everything remains the same. If you go to passport, your identity will remain the same from what the source of truth, which is the NIA.
So the harmonization.
Harmonization we were talking about. Yes.
Are all the other institutions on board? Because
yes,
there were those who were raising questions about the fact that everybody was gathering data.
There was a moratorium that was issued in 2014, banning all government agencies to purchase EFIS. So if you look, SNIT is no more using their EFIS. They directly take it from NIA. NHI is taking directly from NIA. TIN GRE is taken from NIA. DVLA is taken from NIA. Other institutions are also coming on board to make sure that they all come to NIA, so that we have a centralized system. NIA becomes the source of truth where everybody can tap into it and fetch people's data through the biometric verification.
And I also realized that you are working, I don't know whether are you trying to review your act?
Yes. So we are, the act, the 707 that established the NIA was set up in 2006, and we are in 2025.
Okay.
Act 750 has been amended in 2019, but we want to do something about it. The LI 2111 was also passed in 2012. There's been changes. Now, one of the major things that we are seeking to do from the amendment is to move NIA to be under the Ministry of Interior permanently and align that of operations to that of national security. Now, in the previous years, our act does not clearly define which ministry we are.
Oh.
It only says that minister in charge of national security. So, from minister in charge of national identification authority. So, from 2006, we'll be moving from one ministry to the other. So, it does not clearly define who we are. We've been moving from public service ministry, monitoring and evaluation, Ministry of Communication, and a whole lot. So now we want to clearly define where NIA belongs to, because, as you said, the data we are taking is sensitive and it's about identity. Identity is more of national security. If you mistakenly give a foreigner a Ghanaian citizenship, it means that you completely breach our security. That means that person will be in the country and be benefiting or accessing services that are meant for Ghanaians. So we want to put us as permanently under the Ministry of Interior and align that of our operations as that of national security. We've received the draft report from the ministry, AG department, and everything is okay. One other thing that we're also seeking to amend is the LI 2111. Now, the LI tells us that in any identification in any transaction where identification is required, you have to present your card. So the law does not clearly define that you should do biometric verification. It only says that only when I have doubt about you, that is when I have to do biometric verification. So what we intend to do is to make sure that we make it mandatory that you have to do biometric verification. And we are even putting in the punitive measures that if you do photocopy of your Ghana card, NIA can come after you and surcharge you, so that we can stop people from doing those things. And a whole lot of things. We had our first stakeholders engagement about 2 weeks ago, and it was very, very successful. And today we are meeting the staff to also take them through it. Unfortunately, we have 2 unions in NIA, which shouldn't be so. It means that if the unions decide to go on strike, the work stops. And that is a breach of national security. So we want to sensitize them as we are moving to the national security. These are the implications and other things. Currently, the Security and Intelligence Act bill is in Parliament, where NIA is now at the district office. The officer in charge of our district will be part of the District Security Council. Oh, okay. Then the one at the region will be part of the Regional Security Council. So you cannot be part of a Regional Security Council or Regional District Security Council and say you are going on strike. It shouldn't be happening. So those are some of the things that we are doing.
Yeah. When do you intend to get to the end point of this review?
In fact, we are giving ourselves by close of this month. When Parliament resumes, I'm sure we are going to lay it. Our minister is really, really on making wants this thing to be passed as soon as possible. So, and let me thank our Honorable Minister, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak. He's been a fantastic minister and he supervising the National Identification Authority. And we thank him so much. Taking the keen interest of NIA is something that I cannot say much, but he's doing so much well for us.
And one of the things that you use, was it an event, a celebration?
Identity Day.
My
umbrella, my identity.
Oh, yes. Quite an interesting way, the tagline to use. What did that mean?
Let me just state it clearly here that the My Umbrella, My Identity is not a team that was generated by NI. It's a global thing. That was the ID for Africa. It's like a movement that wants to make sure that the identity, we commemorate the Identity Day on a certain date. That is on the 16th of September. Per the SDG, we talk about which government, Ghana government is a signatory to, says that by 2030, legal identity for all, including birth registration. So if you check, they are 16.9, and that's why we chose the date 16th September on every year to celebrate it, to create the awareness that identity should be something that every country should have. And if you look at it, Ghana is way ahead of our peers. In fact, when we went for the ID for Africa this year, Ghana was on the 3rd, apart from some other countries that are ahead of us. Yes. So we are doing so well, because if you look at the age population from the 50 years and above, we were supposed to register like 19.6 million people, and we are close to 90 million. So it means like left about 600,000 people that are supposed to die. So the My Identity, My Umbrella was not generated by me or generated by NI. It was generated by the ID for Africa.
You said when you met your peers, like you were behind only two other
countries. 2 other countries. I think I've forgotten the other two countries, but
it must have made you proud.
Yes. Because we started from somewhere, and where we are now, we've done a lot in terms of identity verification for us to even do for the banks, for other institutions to verify straight from the NIA system and everything. It's something that we should be proud of as a country.
And talking about that, in terms of registrations, I realized that recently you issued a statement talking about registering children 6 years old.
Yes. So, per the Act now, we are supposed to register people from 0 to infinity.
Okay.
Now, when we started in 2019, we started registering from 15 years and above because the NIA contract is a PPP arrangement. So, as at that time we started, we wanted people to register people who can quickly use the card to do the verification and generate some money to pay off the debt. And last year, the government started the 6 to 14. So, we started from 15 years and above. So, there was a huge sum below the 15 years. Okay. So, we started from 6 to 14. That was around September, October. They started the registration. They were supposed to register close to about 6.9 million people. But when we went to the field, due to technical challenges and financial constraints and close to the elections, they were able to register about 370,000 people approximately. But what happened was that there were some technical challenges. So those who were registered, we couldn't issue the cards to them. So when I assumed in partnership with NHIS and our technical partners, we've been able to print the cards for them. And we are going back to the field to issue the cards to them from Monday. We are issuing the cards to all those that we registered. Now, what we're saying is that, per the laws or per baseball government policy, if you're a first timer and you are registering for the Gala card, it's free at the districts. Now, what the statement that was issued by the corporate directorate was that if you are 6 to 14 and you think you need a card urgently and you cannot wait for us to come to your district to come and register, you can walk to any of our premium centers and register and pay. Okay. But
so that would be at a fee.
At a fee. Okay. But if you wait and we come to you at your various schools, it's free of charge. Okay. You won't pay anything. So that was the statement that was issued out.
When should we expect you to actually go out on the field?
We've included it into our 2026 budget, so hopefully when Parliament passes it and collaboration with NHIS, we can go back to the field to do the mass registration for the 6 to 14.
How many in terms of numbers?
We are estimating to register 6.9 million.
6.9 million?
Yeah.
Over how long?
It depends. The operations department will sit down and do the proper planning, because don't forget that we are going to register them at the various schools, and schools will be going on vacations and other things. So we're hoping that once we start, maybe we can use the first 3 months to go to all the various schools to register them. This is just to do a mop-up. Once we finish it and we get the people to register, then that's it.
I see. In the meantime, you have been recognizing those who came before you.
Yes.
Because I have been watching your Facebook page.
Yes.
Initially, I saw that of Dr. William Mahaji, but I also realized that before him, you went to other former CEOs.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do that?
As I indicated earlier, I've worked with all of them, and I have a good relationship with all of them. Despite anything, I have a good relationship with all of them. So I thought it was prudent for me to go back to them to drink from they say their cup of wisdom, their water. So I went, the first person we went to was from Professor Dumont. I would say he's the founding father of the NIA, because he started it in 2006, and we started mass registration in 2008. So I went to him to have a conversation with him, so that I'm sure there was something that he wanted to achieve that he couldn't get to. So now if they have it, they receive us very well in their homes. From there we moved to Professor Atefa. He too received us well. Then moved to Dr. Haji, then to Dr. Koba. The last person we were hoping to meet is Mr. Osei Kwame Griffith, but currently he's out of the country. So when he comes, we'll meet all of them. And I intend to, management has given the approval that we'll bring all of them back to the authority to have a discussion with them, maybe to see the way forward. Maybe they have some things that they want to discuss with us. Anything. We've shared the draft report to all of them, so that at least they too can look through the laws and see whether there's something that we've omitted that they wish we could be included in the amendments.
Why is this important to you?
It's important to me because I want to carry everybody on board.
You want to carry
everybody on board, because I want to build the NIA that everybody wants, and based on that, you need to solicit their ideas. They may have some fantastic ideas that maybe you may not have thought of. So once you go to them, once we're visiting them, they've been telling us some of the things that needs to be done. Because one thing that Professor Dumont I know very well was always saying that NIA should be a security-driven organization.
security-driven
organization. That was the first thing you always said when we started it. So we have started it. He's seen that there's more things that needs to be done. So in fact, the designing of the building and everything, he was the foundation of all these things. People will come to work and they think they may be stressed. They can go to the gym to have some kind of gym. They can. So it's all those things. So just to get the ideas to bring everybody on board, no matter your political allegiance, because when it comes to building a nation and you have an idea, it doesn't mean whether it's from NDC or MPP. Just pick everybody's idea and just use it too.
And I guess you're getting to exactly what he envisaged.
Yes.
That it should be a security.
Exactly. Yes. He was so happy when we told him. We took time to brief them where we are now and where we want to go. They were all happy about it.
So aside his, what else have you been learning from these tours and having engagements with your predecessors?
Oh, I think one important thing, we always, after the meeting, we ask most management members to share their ideas with, I think the recent one was the Dr. Koba. Dr. Koba was a fantastic, I would say, all the executive secretary, he was the one that had a tough time with management.
Okay.
Because that was the time we were moving into the PPP arrangement to expand the scope. Because if not, the expanded scope to cover Ghanaians could have started a long time in 2015. But staff was resisting. And maybe Prof, he knows already, Dr. Koba knows already that I was one of the people who were doing who were resisting for us to move into the PPP. But I must say that even though the arrangements of the PPP, there are some difficulties in that. If NI has not gone into a PPP, by now NI the whole project would have collapsed. Just like it collapsed the first one. Because if something spoils now, let's say for example, a switch gets bent and you have to replace it. Public service, you have to go through procurement before you can replace it. But the private person, he doesn't want, he needs the system to be up and running. So he will quickly go through and get it for you to make sure that the place is running. So even though he has his good and bad side, I think it's been good that we entered into the PPP arrangement with the IMS too. The revenue model and other things, I think, is something that we need to look at again, especially we are kickstarting our review next week. And I think all those things will come on board for discussion.
I see. But then I want to go back to the beginning.
Yes.
There are not so many people who would like to go back to a place
yes.
you left in a manner in which you left.
Yes.
But you agreed to come back to the National Identification Authority.
Yes.
Why?
Because I thought the NIA should be something that I'm a systems analyst and a cybersecurity person. I knew the potentials of what NIA stands for, especially you being the source of truth in anything that has to do with identification. I thought it wise that why don't I come back to make sure that what I started with, I have a passion with it. What I started with, I want to see where it wants to be where it wants it to go. So why don't I come back? So that was the reason why I accepted to come back to the National Identification Authority. There were many options that I could have chosen for, but I wanted to come back here to make sure that we fulfill what we wanted to do.
And what is your vision for the place? What's your plan?
Okay, my main vision for the National Identification Authority is to make sure that we move from government salvation to an authority. Even though we are an authority, we are not on our own. We need to go to government and beg every year for government to give us money to take care of ourselves, for our goods and services, and for our keepers. So I want NIA to move from that government salvation to be on our own, where we can generate our own money and even give some money to government. And again, the staff welfare is dear to my heart. The staff, their salary is very, very bad. And it's something that I'm working towards seriously to make sure that at least they get good money after their day's work. Because you see the rate at which staff are leaving the authority. You train them, they acquire a lot of knowledge, and the next thing you see is that they've left the authority and another company has hired them. Then you need to spend more money to now train new people to come on board. So I think it's something we want to make the NIA a very lucrative environment or an authority where people will even be begging to come and work here. But for now, if you tell anybody to come and work in NIA, when you say you are giving the person appointment letter, you state the salary, you say, oh, I won't come back, I won't come here. So it's something that we are working on to do. And the other vision is to activate the e-wallet. I'm sure you've heard of it, where we want to make sure that your Ghana card can be used to perform transaction, so that instead of going to a restaurant and they ask you after paying the bill, either you use physical cash to pay or you use your Momo or any other thing to pay, we want you to use your Ghana card to pay. Okay. And that's one thing that will generate huge sums of money for the authority, and we are hoping that that is one good revenue source we can use to win ourselves from government.
That's a big one.
Yes, but we will get there. It's something not big, but we will surely get there. Other countries, yes. Other countries have done it. Estonia, Singapore, Emirates, they've all done it. They are using the identity as a source to perform transactions. And let me state here, a lot of people think that the identity should be separated from the payment platform. And I keep asking them, your bank card, your identity is on it. Your name, your date of birth, and everything is on it. So what is the difference between the ATM card and your Ghana card? And that's where I say the NI card supersedes what your ATM is. If Senna, you give me your ATM card now and give me your PIN, I can walk into any ATM machine and withdraw money, right? So far as I know your PIN. But if you get my Ghana card, you need to get my face and my finger before you can go and withdraw. Where are you going to get it from? That is another. Even if I'm dead, you can't use it, because when you are doing the liveliness test, you need to move your head. Somebody who is dead, can he move the head? He can't move the head. So that is where we are aiming at. And you see, it will also help government. The moment we activate the e-wallet, that means close to 19 million people can perform transaction cashless. That brings in the financial inclusion. It means that government will not spend so much money and go and print hard currency. Gradually, we'll be moving to the cashless economy, where people will be using their Ghana card to perform transaction. And look at these ghost names that is happening everywhere. If government decide, Park recently, somebody they validated for 26 months, and they've been paying the person's salary, and they've been paying it into the bank, and somebody is cashing that money. But if government decide that, okay, by policy, I'll be paying all government workers on their Ghana card. Once you pay it, and maybe, who will withdraw it unless you yourself? So at any point in time, government can write to NI and say, okay, I want you to check the inactivity of some of the cards. Once we detect, government can revert the money back into government chest. So those are the things that we are looking on it, and the proposal is in. We are working on it to see how we will take it up.
And on the matter of the staff emoluments and everything, I realize that for a place like the NIA, you need some critical skills. If people are not attracted to the institution enough to join it because of what you are offering them, you must be struggling to get
yes. It's important, because if I go and bring in a cybersecurity and ethical hacker here, and you come and tell me to pay this money, how much do I even use to renew my? I'm a CECH. How much do I use to renew my license every year? Our operations with that of national security, and our remuneration will also be aligned to some of these critical institutions, and we can pay our workers very, very well.
What's your assurance to and to conclude on that, your assurance to the Ghanaian, because there are many people who have in the past complained about the fact that cars are not printed on time. Sometimes you go to the places where you need to collect those cars, you travel there constantly for 4 times, so you decide that, they can keep the card, among others. Well, what's your assurance?
I think that was in the past, but I can assure you now, if you go to any districts or any of our premium centers, unless there's a technical challenge, they should be able to register you and print your card instantly for you. Just that at the district, because of human resource, with lack of human resource, they may not be registering as many as expected. Because a typical district can do the highest they can do is about 40 to 50. Okay. Because of the human resource. But they could have, if we were to have more human resource, they could do like 100, 200 thereabout. So those are the critical things that we are facing. But apart from that, if you go to any district, they should be able to print your card for you, register you, and print your card for you instantly. Like we put out our contact codes, center numbers. You can visit www.ni.gov.gh. The numbers are there. Call them at any time. If you go to any center and you have any challenge, call us. And our call centers are there. They are not working 24/7 yet, but they will be able to attend to you.
And because you raised the matter of the district, how are you improving this, ensuring that?
No, we've written to Ministry of Finance for clearance, and they've assured us that they will give us the clearance. Once we get the clearance, we have over 1,000 vacancies to fill as an authority. And once we get the clearance, we'll be able to fill all those things so that people, because don't forget that the more that people use the card, the more it generates revenue for the authority. So that's where we want to go to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Well, that's wisdom, Deku. I've always known him as Yaira Koku Deku. I never knew that it's like Nigerians, his government name is well, he hosted us in his office today, and he has made us a promise. Dallas has made that promise. I found a new lady who is in charge of media relations. I hold her to it, that he will return to the studios of
Yes, definitely.
On the Good Morning Conversation,
Sure.
for us to have a much more extended conversation that will involve you. But in the meantime, stay tuned.